Hello. Today we're going to practice comparing two-digit numbers. When I say compare, I'm talking about we're going to compare, put numbers side by side, and we're going to decide which number is less and which number is more or greater than. So we've done this before with numbers like 3 and 8, numbers less than 10. So if I asked you, let's say Tootsie Rolls, a lot of people like Tootsie Rolls. Would you rather me give you 3 Tootsie Rolls, or would you rather me give 8 Tootsie Rolls? Maybe some of you don't like Tootsie Rolls, so maybe you said 3 because that's less. But if you like Tootsie Rolls, you want 8 because 8 is more than 3. So what I mean by that is here's 3 Tootsie Rolls, here's 8 Tootsie Rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 is less than 8. 8 is more than 3. So we're going to be comparing numbers today, but we're going to be comparing two-digit numbers. We're going to be using our tens and ones. So if you remember from class, this is a tens stick, or we called it a long, and that's because it has 10 ones on it to make a group of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here's 10, here's another 10, so that makes 10, good job, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and if I put one more, I would have 100. So these are 100 cubes all together. And if I looked at just one of these tens, and if I could break it, I can't actually break this because it's glued together, it would separate into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ones, or 10 cubes. So remember, these are ones, this is a 10. Okay, very good. Now let's write the number. You're going to want a piece of paper and a pencil. So if you don't have one, you can pause the video and go get something to practice with me. If you're not going to practice with me, that's okay. You can just watch and shout out the answers like you're watching me on TV. So we're going to first write the number 15. 15, not 50, 15. Remember, a teen has a 1 in the front. And the number 26. So we are going to compare 15 to 26. So the best way to do this is to look at the number and decide how many tens the number has. So if we look at the number 15, there's a 1 in the 10 spot, so we know there is 1 10, and there is 5 ones in this number. Sorry for all my noise. So let's get our ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 15 again has 1 10 and 5 ones. That's where those numbers come from. Now let's see what 26 looks like with tens and ones. 26 would have how many tens? How many do you think? If you said 2 tens, you are correct. So here's 1 10, 2 tens. Remember, it's 10, 20. Now we have to add our ones. There should be 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 26 has 2 tens and 6 ones. Now look at the numbers over here. Do both of the numbers have the same number of tens? No, you're right. They don't have the same number of tens. Which number has more tens? Is it 15 or 26? Which one has more tens? 26. Good job. Can you tell which number is greater just by looking at the tens? So if we hid our ones for a minute and didn't look at them, could you tell which one is bigger just by looking at the tens? Yes, you could, because 15 only has one 10 and 26 has two tens. Good. Which number do you say first when you're counting? So if I said start at 0 and count all the way to 100, which number comes first on the number line? Good. 15 comes first because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So since 15 is said first, which number is less out of 15 and 26? Which number is less? Good. 15 is less. This means that 26 is greater than 15 and 15 is less than 20. Good. Let's compare some different numbers. So we're going to move our ones over here for now. Let's put our tens away. And let's compare some new numbers. So this time I would like you to compare 17 and 14. If you brought a piece of paper to practice with me, go ahead and write down 17, give yourself a space, and 14. Good. Now, when I look at these numbers, this time I think they both have the same amount of tens in them, but let's find out. So 17 has one 10, and 14 also has one 10. So do you think we can tell which number is bigger just by looking at the tens? No, we can't, can we? Because this has one 10 and this has one 10. So if I hid these numbers, the second digit, you wouldn't be able to tell which one is bigger. So let's add our ones in and we'll find out. So 17 has one 10 and 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 14 has one 10 and how many ones? Good, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Just take a look at that for a minute. Do both numbers have the same number of tens? Yes. Can you tell which number is greater just by looking at the tens? No. So next we're going to look at the ones. Which number has more ones? 17 or 14? Good. 17 has more ones. Which number is greater? 17 is greater because it has more cubes all together, doesn't it? If we used our magic and turned this into Skittles, would you rather have 17 Skittles or 14 Skittles? I would rather have 17 too because 17 is greater than 14. Great job. So let's do another practice. You guys are getting very good at this. If you have a piece of paper, you don't have to erase. You can just find a new spot on your paper. Now we're going to compare 24 and 28. Okay. Now, you don't have these fancy tens and ones at your house, or if you do, way to go. But I'm gonna guess that you don't. So if you don't have them, you can still look at the numbers and you can either imagine your tens and ones or you can draw them simple like this. 24 would have 2 tens and 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 28 would have how many tens? Good, 2 tens. And how many ones? Good, 8 ones. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now let's ask ourselves some of those questions that we have been. Can you tell which number is bigger just by looking at the tens? No, because they have the same amount of tens, so we need to look in the 1 spot now. We need to look at the 4 and the 8. So which number is larger, the 4 or the 8? 4 cubes or 8 cubes? Correct, 8. So that means 28 is greater than 24. On the other hand, 24 is less than 28. If we were counting from 0 all the way to 100, we would say 24 first before we say 28. Great job. We're going to do one more practice with our cubes. Okay, this time let's compare 32 and 29. So write these numbers down and let's start off by looking at our tens place. These do not have the same number in the tens place. Let's just look at 32. How many tens should my 32 have? Good, it should have 3 tens. I'm going to pretend I don't have these two just to show you how you can do this at home. So there's 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens. How many ones would 32 have? 2. 1, 2. So 3 tens and 2 ones. Now let's look at 29. 1 10, 2 tens, 9 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, can you tell which number is greater just by looking at the tens? Yes, because 32 has 3 tens and 29 only has 2 tens. So we don't even have to look at the ones, do we? We know that 32 is greater than 29 because it has more tens. Would you rather have 32 M&Ms or 29 M&Ms? Me too. I'd rather have 32 because 32 is greater than 29. So that means 29 is less than 32. Great job. Okay, now there are symbols that we use when we talk about comparing numbers, and we use these instead of writing out greater than is greater. We could say is greater than or is less than. Is greater than, is less than. Now that took me a long time to write, and if I'm going to have a lot of problems, that might take me too long and waste some of my time. So there are these two symbols we're going to learn, to show greater than, that's it. That's how easy it is. To show less than, it goes the opposite way. It's like sideways V's. Now, the tricky part is remembering which way goes which. And I'm going to show you a really easy trick that I learned when I was in first grade to help me. So, we're going to imagine that this symbol is not a math symbol, it's an alligator mouth. So, use your imagination for a minute and imagine this is an alligator or crocodile with their mouth open really wide. They're about to catch some food and they have these sharp teeth ready to gulp it up. Okay, oh, there's my alligator, I guess. Okay, so do you see it? See the alligator? Great. Now, let's go back to our first numbers that we compared. We compared 15 and 26. Now, this alligator is really hungry. Is this alligator going to want 15 fish or 26 fish? So I'll let you decide which number is greater. Good, 26 is greater. So that means our alligator mouth is going to open up towards the greater number. And to read this, we say 15 is less than 26. Remember, the alligator is going to go eat the larger number. Yum, yum, yum. Good, let's practice again. Over in this pond, there are 31 fish, and over in this pond, there are 25 fish. So which way is the alligator going to go to get the most fish? So remember, 31 would have 3 10s and 1 1. 25 would only have 2 10s and 5 1s. Good. The alligator is going to want 31 fish. So this time the mouth is going to open towards the 31, the greater number. And he's going to go eat all the fish. Great. So let's do a little practice on your piece of paper or whatever you have. And we'll go over the right answers, but this would be a great time after we write these down. You might want to pause the video to practice by yourself, and then you can click play when you're ready to go over the answers. So I would like you to compare the number 12 with 19. So that's your first one. Then I would like you to compare 22 with, let's say, 30. And then last, let's compare 18 with 7. So this would be a great time to pause the video, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we are going to go ahead and go over the answers. So hopefully you discovered that 12 is less than 19. 19 is the greater number. 22 is less than 30. 18 is greater than 7. So see if your answers match mine. And if they don't, that's okay. You can go ahead and fix it. Okay. One more thing I want to show you before I leave you today. Maybe that was enough, and if you're ready to call it a day, you can go ahead and X out. But if you're ready for a little bit more, stay with me for one more minute. Now, what do I do if I have 15 fish in this pond, but then over here there's also 15 fish? Is 15 larger than 15? Or is 15 less than 15? Hopefully you're telling me right now that no, 15 is the same as 15. And we learned a couple lessons ago that when two numbers are the same or equal, then we would use our equal sign. 15 is the same as 15. 15 is equal to 15, just like 14, plus 1 is equal to 15. So sometimes you're going to have to compare two numbers that are actually the same, and if they're the same, then they are equal, and that is when you're going to use your equal sign. So I hope you learned a little bit today about comparing two-digit numbers. Feel free to send me a message. I would love to work live with you if we want to Zoom and do a little more practice together. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.